folks? This is your local random hero again, alright? This is a question, this is more of a video that I'm gonna make y'all sit back here and think when y'all watch it, okay? Have Malcolm X, what Malcolm X said, and Martin Luther King, have they what, well, let me rephrase that. Have what they stood for died. Okay? Okay, the reason why I sit back here and ask y'all this, if you're watching this video, right? If you like it, you know, rate it 5 stars. If not, okay, you know, leave a comment down below, right? Have what they said really died? I look at from an African American standpoint, right? I sit back and I think, you know, you had Malcolm X screaming by any means necessary, right? You have Malcolm X sitting back here screaming, look, you know, don't depend on the government. Do it for yourself. Black-owned business. You know, stop committing crimes against each other. Help your fellow man, help your fellow brother out. You know, and then you had Martin Luther King speaking peace. He was sitting back here saying, I have a dream that everybody's gonna be equal. You gonna have black people equal, white people equal, Asian, everybody's gonna be equal, right? That's why this is the thing I really don't understand. All right. They was sitting back here marching all the way from, Martin marched all the way from Alabama to Washington, D.C. to give a speech, okay? I have a dream speech, okay? And he spoke of peace. But now, if you go down every Martin Luther King Boulevard, you see violence. Alright? People need to be ashamed of themselves. I'm for real on this. Because if you're going to sit back here and commit one of those worst crimes and disrespect the memory of Martin, right? What we need to do, if you're going to sit back here and be that type of guy, is take Martin Luther King. We need to sit back here and go as normal on Martin Luther King birthday. You know, kids need to go to school. Public places need to be open if that's the case. For the simple fact, right? They are disrespecting his memory by committing violences on MLK Drive, Martin Luther King Avenue, boulevards, anything that has his initials or name, right? What good is it that people want to sit back here and say Malcolm X was a great thinker and all this stuff, right? Or he was a great man, if you're going to sit back here and disrespect your women? Or you're going to sit back here and disrespect another brother? See, that's what I don't get. You know, I can't really not mind rap. You got all these people want to sit back here and say, well, I was named after Malcolm, you know, or hypothetically speaking. And this guy sitting back here is the most violent person in the world, right? But there's one thing what they both had in common. Malcolm, at the end of his life, was speaking of peace and harmony, while Martin was going through his whole life. But yet and still, we got brothers out here assassinating brothers over pieces of land that's not theirs, that they do not own, because one brother don't like the way another brother look because of the colors he wear. How stupid is that? You know, it's just, honestly, I sit back and I think to myself, right? Instead of sitting back here shooting each other, stop sitting back here selling the drugs, doing the drugs, and do something better with yourself. And I don't care what people say, well, marijuana ain't a drug. Yes, it is. Marijuana is a drug. I don't care. You can sit back here and say, well, no, it's not. Marijuana is just as addictive as cigarettes. The only difference is, well, one, they haven't laced it yet. Okay? Two, and you can easily acquire marijuana just like you can easily acquire cigarettes, right? But my thing is this, okay? If you want to sit back here and do that. And another thing that gets me is that there are people out here, right, especially in the African American society, who will sit back here and say the white man brought drugs into the neighborhood. If that happened, that might be the case, right? But it was us who allowed it into our homes and our neighborhoods for us to use it. So instead of what people need to understand is that, honestly, if anybody sits back here and actually have any kind of respect or venerate the memory of Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, stop doing drugs. Start doing better for yourself, and don't depend on the government to do what you should be doing for yourself, you know, because it's insulting. It's really insulting that you got all these people who want to sit back here and be like, well, you know, yeah, Malcolm X was a very intelligent man. You don't understand what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Just like Martin. Martin was a very intelligent man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting back here. I can actually sit back here and think to myself, right? If that's the case, you shouldn't be sitting back here doing drugs. If that was the case, instead of sitting back here desecrating his memory, you'll honor their memory by sitting back here living in peace, not just with your neighbors, but people of other races as well. You know, how dare, especially in a black neighborhood, a black man sit back here and say, I like Malcolm X and what he was standing for, but I don't like what was saying, what Martin Luther King was saying, or I like Martin but I don't like Malcolm. They both are exactly the same. They both were civil rights leaders back in the 60s. And for people to sit back here and really think, well, you know, try to say they're not the same, but they are the same. The only difference in them is that Malcolm X was more violent before he went to Mecca. When he went to Mecca and came back, he changed his thoughts. Think about it. He was changed. He realized, hey, look, he looked around and said, hey, everybody is the same. All right? It's just people. That's why I just can't understand. And maybe somebody can sit back and leave a comment and sit back and say, okay, yeah, you know, I understand where you come from, or no. But the thing is this: people need to seriously understand, right? If they gonna sit back here and say, be proud of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, don't be proud of them. Don't be proud of them because you get a day off of Martin Luther King that birthday, or May 19th is Malcolm X's birthday, right? Because that's just ignorant. If you're going to sit back here and be proud of him, be proud of Martin Luther King, there's a reason to be proud of him. Just like there's a reason to be proud of Malcolm X. Don't be sitting back here and be like, well, I like Malcolm X because he hated white people. Well, if that was the case, right, like I said, you need to hate yourself. Because if you're going to sit back here and say you like him because of that, that shows your intelligence is this level. Don't sit back here and say he was for this when you don't know what he was really for. Alright, this is your local random hero, and I will talk to y'all later. God bless.